Listening to each of you right now, it's very obvious that you've played zero high-level basketball, and you do not understand the requirements of doing that. And I do mean that in a nice way.
Hey, JJ kind of foul for doing his peoples like that, but he's true. It's true. He's right. You can't treat these real people like NBA basketball trading cards.
I'll respond in a second.
No, hold on. You bring up Zion.
Yes.
JJ, like, I'm not finished yet. Hold up.
I talked about this when we talked about Zion. You brought up Zion. Trying to play coming off a hamstring injury, a serious hamstring injury. I've had to deal with it multiple times in my career. I popped it grade 3 when I was in college. There's a weeks-long mental hurdle to come back and play.
Yeah, JJ adding a little sauce, but I know exactly what he's talking about. You afraid you're going to hurt yourself again. It comes with a lot of them injuries that really debilitate you.
To be able to just do a simple closeout. A sprained ankle is very different than a sprained knee. A sprained knee for someone who has torn a quad tendon and who has torn their ACL is very different than someone playing on a hobbled ankle in the 1970s.
There are areas that basketball players do not want to injure ever in their career because they're reoccurring. They affect you for the rest of your life. Areas like your knees, your foot, your toe. I mean, some players probably rather tear an Achilles because that'll re-heal. You can heal that than actually have knee problems. You know what I mean? Because that knee problem's reoccurring, is coming back.
It's a terrible analogy. I'm sorry, it's a terrible analogy.
Some of those muscle issues, like he said, the hamstring, I would say shoulders are very, very important for basketball. If you find yourself having any kind of injury or reoccurring muscle injuries in your shoulder or your bicep area, like your tricep, like just anything in the shooting motion, it's going to be hard to shoot. What can you do?
There was a week where Kawhi was away from the team. It was coming out of All-Star break. Mm-hmm. He was away from the Spurs, and I was up there working out. He was there. When I say this dude was so meticulous in his work trying to come back from that quad, I remember, I'll never forget it. I used to walking lunges with like 50, 55-pound dumbbells in each hand. This dude is doing slow walking lunges with 90-pound dumbbells in his hands with the wrap around his quad, which limits your blood flow. This guy gets after it.
What JJ's really addressing right here is the amount of drive these professional athletes have to do. See, they make it seem like they're just trading cards, like I said, but no, they actually working on them stat lines to build them up. You know what I mean? You get injured, you have to work harder to come back from that injury, or you're gonna get injured again.
I understand the frustration with the load management issue. What we're talking about here and questioning his injury, and you say, I'm not questioning his injury. You just said we saw Paul George get hurt. We didn't see Kawhi get hurt. Let's give the guy some credit. He did it in game 1. He went out there and battled game 2. Guess what? If he could play, he would play.
See, what JJ Reddick is talking about is Kawhi actually got hurt game 1 of the playoffs. And he tried to play in game 2, and he still put up 31 points. And with that loss, you know, that was probably the decision, you know what I mean, to make him set him out. Because if they would have won, Kawhi probably would have still been on the court all through till they won it out. But since they did not win after Kawhi got injured, that first game, I think that was the real deciding factor that, hey, he's done for the season. He's done for the playoffs.
I want to get clarification on this worst superstar. Do you not have any empathy for someone who has came back from 2 major leg injuries?
Okay. I just don't get it, because even when the Clippers had Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, it was the same story in the playoffs. They would go out in injury and we would lose. So how are you gonna? Chris Paul's still playing and Blake Griffin. You know, so how you gonna worst superstar? Only reason why Chris Paul is having so longevity because he has other superstars where Chris Paul not even putting up points until the second half or the fourth quarter. Just like he's just jogging around, running at 50-75%. You know, so you can't be disrespecting these superstars like this just because they're dealing with injuries. They are professionals.
Do you not?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to answer your questions. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Okay.
Stephen A. just boiling inside right now. You can see it. This is when he gets mad, when he starts talking like that.
What he just brought up on a multitude of levels, I'm responding to
Great.
this.
I just want to say one
go
other
ahead.
thing real
Take
quick.
your time.
I just want to say one
Take
other
your
thing
time.
real quick to
Yeah.
answer the original question.
Yes.
Because I knew you were going to go off the rails here.
Okay.
And obviously I knew you would go off the rails here too.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of getting rid of them, I don't know what the options are for the Clippers if they were.
They're not. You can't get rid of them
Especially with Kawhi. Especially with Kawhi.
I was talking about Kawhi, not Paul George.
Let's keep in mind they're opening a new arena.
Yes.
In 24-25.
Yeah.
They are the little brother in that city.
I wonder why they still little bro in the Clippers. Could it be their Michigan championships? Yeah, maybe. Could it be their bum-ass bandwagon fan base? Yeah, it could be that. Could it be that they lost 11 straight to the Clippers and have not beat them in 11 games? I don't know.
I don't think they can afford to go through a full years-long rebuild and get draft capital and build through the. I don't think they can afford to do that in LA. They got 1,160 toilets.
Okay.
They need people to use them.
Yeah. Finish?